What does the universe, oh, this is the one. Okay. Okay, universe. Ernest Hemingway said this. Ernest Hemingway. Now is no time to think about what you do not have. Think of what you can do with what there is. Now is no time to think about what you Now is no time to think about what you do not have. Think of what you can do with what there is. All right, I'm going to head to the mat. We're going to be, you know what, let's stand first. Let's do some work standing, some ab work standing, and then I'll probably move the computer closer because then we'll just do stuff that's more just mat based. So let us start off standing. We'll give it a go. So you're standing with your feet parallel and about hip distance apart. You want to try to first find some length in your spine, right? Now, length of your spine does not mean that you start thrusting out your chest or the front of your ribs, right? But literally just trying to find a little more space between the vertebrae. We're going to bring our hands behind the head and the hands near the base of the skull. The thumbs go down the neck for a little support. And when you do this, again, think of what happens here at the ribs. Keep them gently pulled in. We're not flaring open. You're not feeling arching in your lower back. We're at a neutral spine. All right, so on an inhale, we're going to go into lateral flexion, a side bend, right? So as we inhale, we side bend. Going over to the right. You're breathing into that left side of your rib cage, and exhale, come back up. And then inhale, going over to the left, breathing into that right side, and exhale, you restack the spine. So going from side to side, try to keep as much weight in both legs as possible. So it's really easy. Sometimes if you're like side bending over to the left, you put a lot more weight in the left and almost unweight your right foot completely. Don't let that happen. Right, so we're going to keep solid through both feet for this. All right, so it's an inhale as you go over and exhale coming up. Noticing if you're different from side to side, right? You might have more range of motion on one side. You might feel tighter on a side. We're going to do one more time over to the right, one more time over to the left. I have to admit, I did eat breakfast after I ate my Zoom class, and before I started this, I'm kind of feeling it in my belly. And then we'll come back up. So what we're going to do next starts off the same, but then we add kind of a little serpentine action of the spine out to the side, almost like this waving action, like the worm. Remember the worm? I'm doing the worm. In this one, you will unweight that opposite leg a little bit because you are reaching so far over to the side that it does pull you off of your center, okay? So hands back behind the head again. We'll start off the same in that side bend, right? But we're not coming straight up. We're gonna reach that elbow out. Now look at my other foot, it's starting to unweight a little bit because I'm reaching so far with that elbow and then coming back up. It feels kind of delicious, I think. Go over to the side and then reach, like you're scooping out something with that elbow and coming out. And again, over to the right and reach to the left. It's that inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more time each side. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Reach, and we come up. Now, once you come back up, we'll just relax the arms for a moment. So the next move we're going to do is going to start off the same again with that side bend. It will also include some rotation and a little spinal extension at the end, at the top of the move. For this one, we'll keep the feet basically planted. So we're not going to be reaching so far over that we unweight that opposite leg. We'll bring our hands behind the head. So we first go in that side bend to the right. Right, so your left elbow is angling up toward the ceiling and your right elbow is angling down toward the floor. Now you're going to pull the belly in, rotate through the waistline, trying to then get the left elbow to point more down toward the floor, right elbow up toward the ceiling. You're looking back behind you, right? And then you're going to keep that rotation as you come and bring the torso back upright. Once it's all the way up, find just a little extension, a little lift to that heart up toward the ceiling, and then come back to center. All right, so it's that side bend. Now we're going over to the left. We're going to rotate through the waistline. So we're still over to the left, right? Just rotating. Then we come up, find that extension, and forward. To the right, we side bend. We rotate. We're keeping that rotation as we come all the way back up and facing forward. Right, to the left. We stay over to the left, we just rotate, and then we lift up, find that extension, and back to start. Let's do one more time each side. So over, rotate, lift, center, over, rotate, lift, and center, and relax. So we're going to come onto our backs with knees bent. And heels kind of close to the hips. They don't have to be as close to the hips as when we're doing a bridge. All right, so for our 100 prep, I want you to first just notice your spine and your pelvis. That neutral pelvis, pubic bone and hip points are basically level, a little small upward arch in the lower back, and then the rest of the spine is down, and of course the upward arch at the cervical spine. So it's very tempting when we come up, and we're going to be coming up into this sort of chest lift position, that we tuck the pelvis under. So this kind of boom happens, right? So we're going to try and keep that still. We want to think really the waistline and lower stays still. It's above that where the change happens. And when we curl up, we don't want to lead with the head, but feel like you are engaging and initiating from right below your sternum. We're going to bring our arms up toward the ceiling. Palms are going to face up. We'll take an inhale to prepare. Our belly pulls in. As we exhale, we curl up into that chest lift. Arms come down to our sides. And then inhale, back down. Right? So it's an exhale, pull the belly in. We lift up. And inhale, back down. We lift up. Inhale, lower. Trying to keep the pelvis still and the legs still. Curling up. Inhale, lower. Curling up. Inhale, lower. Let's just do one more like that. We curl up. And inhale, lower. Now we're going to go into the 100. It's going to start out the same. We'll curl up. Now, once we're all the way, when we're in our curl and our arms are at our sides, what we're going to be doing is we'll be inhaling for 5 counts and exhaling for 5 counts. I'll be counting that out. And while you're breathing, your arms are going to be pumping up and down. It's just small little pumps out of the shoulder. It's not out of the wrist or the elbow, but you're actually lengthening and reaching through those fingertips as you pump. We'll keep the feet down. An advancement of the 100 would be doing it with legs and tabletop. A further advancement would be legs reached out, all right? But we'll just keep the feet down parallel and about hip distance apart. I want you to focus more on that stability of the pelvis and not getting too grippy in the quadriceps. If you start feeling this in your neck before we get to the 100, you will just keep pumping the arms, but lay your head down, perfectly fine, okay? And then maybe try to come back up if you can. We'll reach those arms up toward the ceiling. Let's take an inhale, As we exhale, let's curl up again. Arms come down and inhale, we pump for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3. You're halfway there. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, pull that navel in. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Curl up. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3. 2 more breaths. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2. Holding here. Bringing your hands, hold back behind your thighs. Bending the elbows, gently kind of pull yourself up a little bit higher in the C curve, right? Spinal flexion. Then try to keep that height. Hold the arms out to the side, take another breath, and then we'll slowly come all the way down. Oh, that feels good. All right, so from here, we're going to do a single leg stretch, followed by crisscross, aka bicycle. So we're going to bring our legs into a tabletop. Just interlacing your hands. There's lots of different ways in Pilates classes they do their hands with this one. We're just going to keep it simple. We're going to interlace the fingers, place it over our left knee, and extend that right leg out long. And you want your feet basically at about the same height if you can, but if that leg needs to come up higher in order for your pelvis to stay neutral, that's okay too. Right, so we'll take our inhale, and then exhale, we curl up. We're going to keep our spine still. We're going to keep our hips still. We'll take an inhale, and then exhale, reach out. Switching sides, and then we reach. Taking an inhale, exhale, switch. Taking an inhale, exhale, switch. Taking an inhale, exhale, switch. Now, the next time you're holding on to that left knee, let's hold on to it. Right leg is extended out. We're going to bring our hands behind the head, rotate toward that left knee, and then we switch and rotate toward the right. So when you rotate to the left, you still want to try to keep the left shoulder blade off. When you rotate to the right, you still want to keep that right shoulder blade off of the mat if you can. Just one more time each side. Legs come back to tabletop, and then we rest it down. 13 minutes. All right, I'm doing good on time, I think. We're going to take the legs long. We're going to come onto our belly. We're going to go into our swan prep. So for swan prep, foreheads down on the mat. I want you to feel your front hip points and your pubic bone kind of pressing down into the mat. And if you press the pubic bone down into the mat, hopefully you feel this natural kind of engagement that happens at your glutes. I want you to have that. And that your lower back lengthens just a little bit, right? So keeping that pubic bone pressed down will keep work out of, extra work out of that lower back. We can separate the feet about shoulder width distance apart. Arms are at your side, palms kind of on the outsides of the ears. We won't use our arm strength, but really think about the mid and upper back, pubic bones pressing down as we inhale. Think of almost reaching the spine a little forward as you lift up. So you're lengthening as you lift. And then exhale, just right down again. Keeping that pubic bone pressing down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale. And so as you're lifting, think of the spine reaching forward as you lift. Keep the pubic bone pressed down. Think of mid and upper back. Try not to use the lower back so much. Our glutes stay engaged. Let's do 2 more times. Shoulders are away from those ears. We're not shrugging. 1 more. All right, so our swan, the full swan, it's much more dynamic. I think of the body almost coming into the shape of the bottom of the rails of a rocking chair. And that's what you're doing. It's a rocking action that's going to happen. It requires more flexibility in the spine, more extension than that prep did. And so that might not be right for you yet, right? So I will do it, and you can certainly do one with me and see. And then if it doesn't work, doesn't feel right for you, then go back to the prep, what we were just doing. So in the full swan, I'm coming up, my arms are straight. Now, while I am in extension, my belly isn't just down, right? I'm pulling still in. So I have some integrity in the front of my body. I take an inhale, and as I exhale, I'm going to bend my elbows and lift my hands off of the floor. My body's going to come forward. My legs are going to come up. Might as well take an inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Two more. Inhale, exhale. Last one. And then we'll come down. Hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to lift up and come into all fours. So a little bird dog before we go into our forearm plank. So we start off with that tabletop position with all four legs equally supporting your table, right? So the knees and hands equally supporting. And putting some energy through the fingers, pressing the pads of the fingers down so it's not all just at the heel of the palm. The front of the belly pulls in, the front of the ribs are pulled in. We're going to take the right arm, we're going to reach out like we're shaking a hand. So palm will face in, thumb up, and then we'll take the opposite leg, our left leg, back. All right, belly is pulling in, and we're going to pulse the leg and the arm up, keep the spine as still as possible, the hips as still as possible for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to come back down to all fours. And then we'll take that left arm forward, palms facing up, or excuse me, palm facing in, thumb up. We're going to take the right leg back. Belly has pulled in, pull up on that pelvic floor, and our pulse is up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we lower down. All right, we're going to come down to our forearms. And I'm going to see about setting a timer. Let's see here. So setting our timer. And we're just gonna, let's be kind of kind to ourselves on this one. Oops. And we're gonna do 20 seconds. And we'll get, all right. So onto our forearms, parallel, about hip distance apart. We're going to take the right knee back and tuck those toes under. Now, before I take my left knee off and reach my left foot back, I'm pulling my belly in. I'm making sure I don't sink down through my shoulder blades, but I'm also lifting up through them, right? So pulling up on the pelvic floor. Arms are going to be strong. Legs are going to be strong. And, all right. Now let's take that left foot back and we're holding. Pelvis is slightly tucked under. Think of your sits bones and your tailbone kind of angling down the back of your leg toward your heels. Now, if at any time you need to bring both feet down, both knees down, you can, or maybe just drop one knee and then come back up, right, and then drop the other. If you need to come down all together, of course you can. We'll take another breath. And we'll bring both knees down. And that was it. That wasn't too bad. Huh? Reach back into a child's pose. So from Ernest Hemingway, now is no time to think about what you do not have. Think of what you can do with what there is. Yeah. I like that. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.